Good morning to you. Good morning to you. How are you today? I am ready for the weekend. My parents are arriving. We have lots of things to do today. I posted a picture of the poet laureate and her stunning and amazing and beautiful poem that the lines about merging justice and mercy and right, creating love, not using exactly her words. And I got a whole bunch of blow up feedback from people who think I'm now promoting a specific political platform, which I'm not. It was a stunning poem, y'all. It had a lot of application to our audience. It was beautiful about using power to bless and to create a positive environment and a legacy for our children. So everybody just simmer down. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. I am not socialist. I am not communist. I'm not promoting China. I'm not promoting Democrats. I'm not promoting Republicans either. They're all corrupt. They're all liars. They're all crazy. Some of them are very, very smart, but they're still crazy. Anyway, my whole point is we should be using power to bless others. And I liked the poem. So if you haven't seen that post on the Facebook page, go scroll down. It's a gorgeous picture and a gorgeous quote. And if you're not even in the United States and you don't care about U.S. politics, I totally understand, and that's fine too. No burden to push that agenda. Let's read. Redeeming Power, Understanding Authority Abuse in the Church, Authority and Abuse. And we are in the last home stretch. Right now, we're reading about redemptive power in the person of Christ. Jesus is light. Last weekend, I actually preached a doubleheader at one of the community churches in the area about domestic violence, and the title was Into the Light, because also often we want to hide and we want to just sweep it under the rug. We want to cover up scandal. We want to cover up the truth about what things are actually happening. And light exposes darkness, which is super important in advocacy work. God is light, and in him is no darkness at all. If we say we know him and yet walk in darkness, we lie and do not practice the truth. 1 John 1, 5 and 6. Light penetrates, searches, invades every nook and cranny. You can't keep hiding once you turn the lights on. We play in our house. We play hide and seek in the dark. And we turn off all the lights. And you can hide in plain sight in our living room after dark. It's so dark in there. You can just curl up under the overhang of the fireplace, and you can just lay there. You can just watch everybody once your eyes adjust, and they will not see you because of the shadows in the dark. But if you flip a light on, if anyone so much as looks at their phone screen, it illuminates the room, and then you can see the people who are hiding. One time I sat in the recliner chair, and I just sat there, and everyone's running around me trying to find spaces to hide and changing spots, and then the seeker is trying to find them, and I'm just sitting there just watching it all go on. And because I didn't rock the chair and I didn't move anything, they had no idea I was there. You can do that in the dark, and if you're doing evil, it's pretty easy to hide it as long as it's kept in the dark. But flip on the lights and everything is exposed. And that's what Christ wants to do. The entrance of light anywhere exposes reality. Light brings truth. It is often not visible itself, but it illuminates all else. It's also not changed by what it reveals. Light shines on dead animals, sewers, and rottenness, exposing yet remaining unspoiled. That is our God. That is why Jesus was uncorrupted by corruption. That is why he was uncompromising with compromise. The person of Christ is light. In him is no darkness at all, none, not even a spot. No matter how much he encounters darkness, is surrounded by darkness, or exposes darkness, he remains light. He is not contaminated by what he touches. He touched us and remained pure. He does not traffic with the darkness of earth or hell, and does not, even with intimate contact, ever become dark. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overpower it, John 1:5. The power of Christ is his embodiment of light. He sheds light wherever he goes in both word and deed. How do you suppose Rome or the religious leaders felt about that light? They rejoiced. They wanted to turn it off. I skipped ahead a couple lines. And how do you suppose Mary Magdalene, the Samaritan woman, or Zacchaeus felt about that light? They rejoiced in it. Jesus' light was either opposed or welcomed. Its presence revealed the heart of the one on whom it was shining. We, God's children, say we have a relationship with this God who is light. Then we should welcome his light. He says, if you say you know me and yet walk in darkness, you are a liar. 1 John 1:6. That is crystal clear. We cannot deal in darkness while claiming a relationship with light. Period. We cannot deal in darkness while claiming a relationship with light. That means if you are a pastor or a leader or just someone who claims to be Christian, you cannot participate in the darkness of human trafficking and pornography or sexual molestation and abuse or filling your mind with crude and crass things and say that you are participating in the light. You cannot live a life of lies and be in the light. They are mutually exclusive because the light exposes and chases out all of the rats in the room. And if we are living in the light, if we are submitting to the light, if we are walking into the light, seeking the light, we will have all the corrupt, furry, gross vermin scattering out of our lives because we are seeking the light. It is a direct impact of seeking God's presence. Now, then you say, how is it possible that there are so many people who are so scripturally and theologically articulate that are living these double lives? Well, because they aren't actually seeking the light. They are using beautiful words as a covering for their darkness instead of seeking in their character to move into the light, to live in the sunlight. Where was I? We, God's children, say we have a relationship with this God who is light. Then we should welcome his light. He says, if you say you know me and yet walk in darkness, you are a liar. 1 John 1:6. That is crystal clear. We cannot deal in darkness while claiming a relationship with light. If we say we walk in fellowship with God, who is light, well, I guess she's going to say the same things I just did. I just got ahead of it, and pursue pornography or cover up another's repeated sin or grasp at power or fame or self-righteousness, we lie. If we say we walk in God's light and speak harshly to his spouse, crush a vulnerable soul, demean another online, or arrogantly treat others as inferior, we lie. If we do indeed walk with him, such things will be exposed for what they truly are, not weaknesses, not responses to pressure, not a bad day, not a heavy schedule, not means to a good goal. Such things are nothing but high-handed rebellion against a holy God. Darkness conceals and disguises. It distorts, hides, and disturbs vision so that things appear other than they really are. Darkness varnishes over blemishes. We use the darkness to hide ourselves, from others, and from God. We hide behind harsh speech, calling it righteousness. We darken our hearts with excuses, justifications, and lies. In practicing darkness while professing light, we sin. And sin leads to death. It is not simply physical death, but also death of clear vision, death of righteousness, death of conviction. Often, the things that enable long-term sin to continue are so much a part of the fabric of our lives that we don't even see them anymore. This is why Jesus called the Pharisees blind guides. In Jesus was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. Let's shine light on two statistics. 64% of Christian men and 15% of Christian women view pornography at least once a month. If we say we have fellowship with him and walk in darkness, we lie and do not do truth. We are deceiving ourselves and the light is not in us. We write and talk, and some of us scream about issues such as homosexuality and abortion, but we hide some of our own choices and do not do truth. We absorb degrading, humiliating, violating pictures of others who were knit together by God in their mother's wombs and created in his image. Do we really think we can feed on such a diet and then treat others with dignity and respect? Do we believe we can absorb darkness and give off light? The mind is being trained in the ways of darkness, and we continually deaden ourselves to truth in order to maintain that darkness and feel okay. Many have said to me, "They're just pictures." For the record, I have worked with those who ended up in those just pictures, forced into participating in pornography and trafficked online. I have seen young girls as young as 8 years old living on the streets and being prostituted, trafficked, and picked up for pornography films. And we, who call ourselves God's children, are funding that world by participating in it. Understand also that statistics from various sources show that we in the evangelical world are both divorcing and battering our spouses as regularly as our secular neighbors are. And we say marriage is sacred. We are to love. How? In the same manner as Jesus loved us. Yet research shows that we Christians are also the most likely to object to living next door to someone of another race. Our words are harsh, judgmental, and even cruel toward those who are unlike us in some way, even fellow believers. And God says there is neither Jew nor Greek, barbarian nor Scythian, slave nor free. Galatians 3:28. God is light, and in him there is no darkness at all. We've all heard many grievous stories about Christian leaders and their immorality, their financial fraud, and their arrogant, demeaning, and abusive leadership. We have often protected those in high places who have given us glimpses of the darkness in their lives. Why? Because they have a phenomenal following. They are brilliant and articulate. They have amazing gifts of music or speaking, or you fill in the blank. And so, rather than bringing light, we join them in their darkness, excusing and justifying and compromising and leaving those who have been victimized unheard and uncared for. Do we not see that we are willingly, in the name of ministry, leaving those leaders, not to mention their victims, in the dark? Talk about blind guides. In protecting them, we are complicit. We are folded up with their darkness. The most righteous action one can take towards some people is bringing the facts of their lives into the light. It is righteous to expose an abuser. It is unrighteous to cover their crooked deeds. It is righteous to expose a leader's arrogance. It is unrighteous to minimize or excuse it. Charles Spurgeon said, "Leniency to the dishonest is cruelty to those whom they injure." Dietrich Bonhoeffer said, "Nothing can be more cruel than the tenderness that consigns another to his sin. Nothing can be more compassionate than the severe rebuke that calls a brother back from the path of sin." Is that not what the God who is light did for us? Look at who you are, he says, and then come to me. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. No editorializing. I look forward to your comments, sharing, thoughts, passing it on. Tell me what you think, and have a good day.